Hey, what's up, everyone? Yellowstone, yeah, Yellowstone. I was watching that a little earlier. It's Sunday night, and I got a video I'll probably be posting up here this week. Went down to South Texas, got a deer, brought it up, but I did a little bit of filming down there, and so I'll be posting that up there this week. I'm going to talk about Hub Group a little bit. During my time on YouTube, I've always talked about the jobs that I had. This is a vlogging channel. For the first 10 years of my YouTube existence was a vlogging channel. Where I vlog, and I got like 25,000 subscribers just as over my vlogging. And, I'd stopped doing that while I was at Hub Group and never did really finish the story of Hub Group and give my final review of Hub Group. So I want to do that now. First of all, let me just say that when I started with Hub Group in 2019, I was in a pretty bad situation. I had messed up and gotten jobs with places that just weren't for me at all whatsoever. And so I'd put myself in a bad situation. And so, hey, when you put yourself in a bad situation, what do? You fix it, right? That's exactly what I did. So, but I can't remember how I found out that Hub Group was hiring. I don't think I went to Indeed, maybe some sort of job board. I don't know. But I did find out that they were hiring. Hub Group was hiring for Walmart Dedicated. Now, during my time at Hub Group, I did two things: Walmart Dedicated and intermodal. So I'll be talking about the intermodal as well in this. But this first part of the video, I'm talking about the dedicated. A dedicated that they no longer have. So if you want to go back to those videos, they're kind of on there. Just look up Hub Group, Cleburne, Texas, if you want to. But they don't have that dedicated anymore out of Walmart. And so I just don't think that anyone will get any good information out of that. But at the time, people did get information out of that. A lot of drivers came on because of those videos. Now, I didn't go and sell myself as a recruiter or anything like that. I was just basically saying, hey, this is what it's like working here. Same thing I did for Butler, Estrella, Schneider, for freaking crying out loud. So anyway, so in 2019, I started working there, got out of a bad situation, went back local. I say back local, like local work, in my experience before that, didn't pay. Now, granted, the only local work I did before that was hauling rock and hauling concrete, like in pneumatic tanker concrete. Where you have a PTO and you blow it off into silos and whatnot. But and those jobs typically didn't pay all that well at that time, at least not for me. And so my best work that I've ever done was more of a regional dedicated stuff. And so going to Hub Group doing this was like, okay, is this good? But they were paid by the hour, and I was like, okay. You get paid by the hour, and then anything over 8 hours was time and a half. And every day, right? It wasn't over 40. It was 80 or 8 hours. So yeah, like most of my days consistently were 11 to 12 hours a day. I didn't do 14 hours. I start my shift usually started around midnight to 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd run meat and produce loads for the first load, and then the second load I would do just what they call a dry load. And now during COVID, when I worked there, we would do more than 2. We'd do like 3 or 4, but the time that was a different time. But anyways, but for the most part, during regular running, that's what I did. And it would take all day to do that. because you had multiple stops and stuff like that. When we were doing COVID, we would have one trailer to go load going to, or maybe two stops, instead of 3 or 4, so you would run, Anyway, so that first part, and I covered this in videos. I even showed my first year pay settlements. And I made, if I remember correctly, around 85, I think. 80 to 85, if I remember correctly. That's about as much as I made. And I thought, hey, that's pretty good, being home every night. I think it was good for me, worked for us, and got paid well, I think. And I got treated well, I should say. Obviously we all want more money, right? But that worked for us. It really did. Got my home life in order, because at that time my home life was non-existent. Home life needed work, and got those things back in order. And that's because that's what a man does. Is it's like, okay, you see some things going on, you need to take control, and that's what I did. And anyways, I really like doing this, and that first part, I was paid by the hour, but there's people that abused it, and they would ride the clock. They would sit on the back row and just sit in their truck and just, I don't know, play games or talk on their phone or whatever, and they'd ride the clock and totally abusing it. And so eventually they caught on to it, so what they did is they gave us per mile, which was at that time, pretty decent, 70 to 80 cents a mile, I believe, if I remember correctly. Again, we were local. We didn't get tons of miles, but we got paid per drop too. A lot of people were freaking out saying, oh, we're not going to get paid as much. And that's wrong. I got paid more. Those guys that sit on the back row and just sitting there playing on their phone, they couldn't ride the clock anymore, and they didn't know how to run. But the office already knew our driving habits, and so they would give me and other good drivers the runs that we would do, that we would be rewarded, and because we proved ourselves before we made the switch, because hey, they're paying us to do a job, we're going to freaking do the job. And so I actually got paid a lot more. And I think that first year working there, if that was all paid per mile and per stops, I think I would have probably been up there over 90 at least, I think, because I got paid a lot more. And I say that I was a good driver. What was it, November of 2019? They named me driver of the month up there, so that was good. Out of how many drivers we have, like 70 or 80 drivers we had, and they named me driver of the month. And so I took a lot of pride in that. 2 months later, or a month later, they promoted me to a trainer up there. Now, when you're a trainer, it wasn't like, oh, we're teaching you how to drive a truck. No, it was basically new hires coming on. They would ride with us, and we'd show them the ropes. And and that was during a time where things were really starting to pick up with COVID and stuff. Loads are really ramping up, and we need more drivers. And so I was one of the trainers. We only had 2 or 3 of us, out of all of us. So I was pretty happy about that. It was a promotion, and it was all good. Now, this is where I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about Schneider and then go back to Hub Group. I did leave Hub Group. I'm going to tell you the reason why. So Hub Group had a Walmart dedicated out of, I think it was Monroe, Georgia. Correct me if I'm wrong. It could be another place out there in Georgia, but I think it was Monroe. And Hub Group lost that account something that the manager did. And I can't remember if he was like a regional manager or something, but he pissed off Walmart in a really bad way where they canned Hub Group out of there. But they kept us because we were doing our job. However, they moved that manager from there to over us. And that pissed off corporate Walmart, not the local Walmart, you know, they're at the DC, but the corporate Walmart. And so they canned us and brought in Schneider. Of course, Schneider probably undercut us as well. I'm sure, you know, they could, but I think Walmart was so pissed at us. It's like, okay, we just don't want you here, you know. And that sucked because we did an outstanding job for them. Walmart loved us. I'm saying that DC and Cleveland, Texas loved us. We were always on time. You know, Walmart's particular about their times. And we were always, you know, hitting our marks, hitting those gate times. And then when Schneider came in, it was late, or loads not even getting covered. And so I had to go to Schneider because of this. In May of 2020, late May, my wife had a major event where it almost killed her. She had to have brain surgery. She had an aneurysm and almost killed her. And she spent like a month in the hospital. And so that was right when Hub Group was, you know, Hub Group and Schneider was making the switch. And I was going to stay with Hub Group just because of, you know, liked it, you know, and everyone else was going. No, they probably only had a small handful of people went over to Schneider because Schneider they cut that pay so bad it was unbelievable. And let's just say Schneider, and I'll do a video about Schneider because I spent a lot of good years at Schneider. But when Schneider came in, they were just like bottom of the barrel. They treated drivers like garbage, and they paid us like garbage. So yeah, because I needed to have that local job is the reason why I made the switch. Nothing really changed other than the fact that I wasn't a trainer anymore and I went back to my old shift that I had. But by that point I was like, you know, I was just happy to have my wife alive, you know, and my priority was her. So when she got out of the hospital, I needed to be home there every day. And I couldn't do that if I stayed on with Hub Group. I would have to be regional dedicated or regional intermodal. So, and I was like, you know, I wouldn't mind doing that, but I couldn't do that at the time. So she got out of the hospital, you know, the pay sucked at Schneider. It did. There was times where I like make $900 a week, and that was top sometimes. It was just bad pay. And I would work harder. I would do 3 loads. Instead of the 2 that was required, I'd do 3 loads, sometimes 4 loads. And just to maybe get close to $1,000 take home. We're talking about take home. Because like gross was like 1,200 tops. It was bad. It was freaking bad. And once my wife got better and she could get around, she couldn't drive for a while. But once she got better and where I could, we actually started going house hunting right around, she got out of the hospital around July 4th. About a month or so later, I want to say around August, we started going house hunting, and we bought this place here. So basically they were like going off Hub Group freaking pay, you know, getting a mortgage. I think that if we weren't working, I say Schneider, I think if we were having Hub Group pay, then maybe we could have been approved for a better, probably a better house with some, well, we could have gotten approved. I just wasn't ready for those payments, really, to be totally honest. Couldn't. Anyways, but we were good with this, which is a nice house. It's not run down. It's a nice, little house on, acre and a half. But it's we could have done a little better. But we wanted to get back here to Wascom because my oldest daughter graduated here, and we wanted our youngest daughter to graduate here, and she wanted to as well. So I had to stay. If you guys ever do the mortgage process, I think I applied either August or September. Applied for that for this, and then you can't change jobs. You can't do anything. But November we got into the place here, and then that's when I called because I called Hub Group back. All the management that was in, besides the guy that screwed everything up, all the management that was in Cleburne, they were so good that they moved them to Mesquite, the intermodal yard. And so, and I stayed in contact with them throughout those times. And then when it was ready to go, I was like, phone call was made, let's go. And I was so happy because Schneider sucked. What I was doing at Schneider, I was living, I would say about a month or so. I was living in a truck in Cleburne, but that lasted for about a month. And so, anyway, that was besides the point. You guys don't care about Schneider. I can tell you about Hub Group. Doggone, so basically late November, 1st of December, somewhere around in there. It was around Thanksgiving, maybe just past. I was made the transition back to Hub Group and hauling intermodal. Sorry, I get freaking. I'll edit that part out. I'm just doing this on the phone. So I never done intermodal before, and so that was something new to me. So they had to teach me that, which basically what they teach you is the intermodal, the chassis and how it all freaking works, with the pins and that sort of stuff, and then dealing with the rail yard and going in and out of the rail yard, that sort of stuff. It's not too difficult, just you are hauling a different type of trailer. You have to haul it a little bit different. It's a little bit more, sits up a little bit higher. So your center of gravity is a little higher than what it is on a regular van. And so driving wise, and it rocks a lot. They just do. And you have to kind of get used to that. That's the reason why you see a lot of those things flip over, is because they do rock a lot. They are high center of gravity, and those chassis ain't worth a darn. Anyways, but I liked it. We did runs out of Mesquite. I tell you what, most of the runs out of the rail yard went local stuff, but I was doing regional stuff. So I would make deliveries in Houston to Amazon. I make deliveries down to San Antonio, Amazon, Target in Lindale, Texas, over there by Tyler. That's pretty much it. The local drivers do the local stuff, and they had a majority of that. We did a lot of deadheading, though. Most of the stuff we did was bringing loads into the rail yard. So we would pick up out of a place out of South Louisiana, over there by Slidell. I can't remember the name of the town. You guys probably know. And a coffee load out of there, bring it back up here, or back to Mesquite. Cabinet loads out of Weslaco, Texas, bring that back up. There was another load that we do out of the valley. I can't remember what that place was. That took a little bit longer, but the cabinet place was almost always dropping hooks, and those are nice and light and all that. Occasionally, I get up there to Oklahoma and do a Georgia Pacific load out of Muskogee, bring it down, or Kimberly Clark out of Jinx and bring that down out of Oklahoma. I'm trying to think what else we would do, but there was a lot of deadheading. Man. There was times where I'd deadhead straight out of Mesquite, not even take a load out, and go all the way down to the valley and come back. You know, just way it works. And hey, I ain't complaining. I got paid the same. And but most of the time we did pull a load out. And those Amazons, if you ever done a load going into Amazon, those are quick and easy in and out. The camera situation, that was a concern when I first went there. The day cabs I drove for Walmart dedicated did have the inward-facing driver-facing cameras. So I was a little bit paranoid on that because I had bad habits of, grabbing something to eat or whatever, but no one ever cared if I ate a sandwich. And most of the time I would bring my lunch. I didn't really stop to eat anywhere. Maybe once a week I would splurge. Like sometimes we would go and pick up a load out of Conroe, load of milk. Was that milk? Yeah, milk. There was a place out of College Station, Bryan, load of eggs. That was my favorite. Like doing that. No, Conroe I actually liked doing better. And there was a load that we would do out towards. We didn't do a whole lot of West Texas, but I did. There was one. What was that town? In between Sweetwater and freaking Midland, Odessa. Can't think of the name of that town. It's that smelly old town. Got that refinery right there. I can't remember the name of that doggone town. Is it Spring? No, that's down there in Houston. Anyway, Big Spring. Yeah, Big Spring. I knew it was something Spring. Did a load out there. I'll grab something to eat. But that was Walmart stuff. Intermodal stuff, gravy. If you've ever done intermodal, you gotta have some tools with you, because those chassis are garbage. But hey, gave you something to do, other than just holding a steering wheel and swinging doors, But the loads are gravy. The management was awesome. Love the people there. Great experience. I don't know about now. I don't think they have the same management. I don't think anymore. But when I was there, because I left there in 2021. The reason why I left, a lot of you guys probably say, well, why'd you leave? It had nothing to do with them. Had everything to do with me. It was me. It's all me. So the YouTube stuff took off. We had our budget that we would have to make, to cover bills and whatnot. We had just got a new truck. I've been working on my credit and stuff like that. We had got a, new truck, and I was pretty proud of that. Still am. But it was like, okay, so those are two big payments, mortgage and a truck. And then obviously utilities and whatnot. So, well, if we can cover these, we'll be all right. And so in May 2021, my wife and I sat on the front porch, and told my wife, I was like, man, I'm tired. Freaking tired of driving truck. Can we freaking do this? I mean, yeah, it's a chance. You're taking a risk by doing it. But 20 years driving a truck, it's just like, you just get tired of it, Like, and I was tired of it. I always liked it, but man, I was ready for something else, but most of the time something else don't pay. You know what I mean? Something else just don't pay. You go drive a forklift and it just don't pay. So, and I did that before I was driving a truck. And, so So it's like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. So I put in my 2 weeks notice, and I was out of there May 2021. And Hub Group, the people there, they knew the reason why. They were happy for me, and I couldn't have left a better place at that time. At least, again, that's been 4.5 years ago now since I left, and but I could say Hub Group was a good place for me at that time, where I needed something good in 2019, coming out of that bull crap, and I put myself in that situation. I ain't gonna lie, but I put myself in a better situation with Hub Group, and Hub Group was just top notch at that time. So, hey, if you want to go to Hub Group, punch in my referral code. It's nothing. I don't have a referral code, but if I did, I don't know. Did I even have a referral code? I don't even think I did. I did videos, but I didn't do a whole lot. But I didn't do any videos talking about the intermodal stuff, which I should have vlogged it. But at that time, I was just kind of over the vlogging. I built my vlogging channel to 25,000 subscribers of just vlogging and telling my story. And so I just didn't finish my story with Hub Group. So, but anyway, we have this channel now. This was a cruise channel, and we'll be doing more cruise videos on this, but I wanted to do more trucking videos on this channel. And so, what better way is to talk about Hub Group? Again, I left on good terms. Oh, by the way, I knew I was forgetting something. The whole camera situation. They did not have driver-facing cameras when I was hauling containers. They only did on the trucks for Walmart dedicated, the day cabs. They didn't have them on the sleeper trucks in the what do you call them? The intermodals, and which is fine by me. Just fine by me, but by that time I wasn't like they would coach me every now and then. It's like if I rolled through a stop sign, I get a call saying, "Hey, you need to come to complete stop," or sometimes following distance or whatnot. We could always be reminded. We could always use a little bit of coaching. I hear a lot of people that been driving as long as I have, or even 30 years, saying, "I don't need no coaching." Yeah, we all have something that we can improve on. We just do. We all get bad habits. We just, I've developed my bad habits. I don't think my bad habits are bad, but companies do. Insurance does. DOT does. So, but yeah, fixing those things, I got out of a lot of those habits. Cameras help bust me out of those habits for sure. And yeah, my thing is, and I learned this with Schneider, not to be in a big old freaking rush. I used to drive when I worked for Color Spot back in the day. Those trucks, we can go 100 mile an hour, and let me tell you, we would drive 100 mile an hour. And this is back when trucks in Texas, the fastest you could go is 65. That was the daytime. Nighttime was 55. Split speed limit. For at night, we had to split, day and night. And absolutely, we do 100 out there. And when I got with Schneider broke that of me, because it's like, okay, we want you to do 60. 60, I'm crawling over here. But again, hey, all of a sudden, I'm not in a rush. I'm not feeling anxious. It's like I'm over here doing 60. I'm just being passed. Yeah, people are passing me. They probably don't like that I'm even there on the interstate. Now, we did 60 crews, 65 on the floor. So if you came up on somebody doing 60, and this would be something I'll do for a Schneider video, but if you do if you're going 60 or whatever, and you passing somebody, just go 65, go around them, get back down on your cruise. And so Schneider broke me on a lot of that. And so when I was with Hub Group, that patience and just taking my time really paid off, okay? Because when I was young and dumb, I didn't have all that, and I had a lot of road rage. And yeah, shouldn't have road rage in a 18-wheeler. No bueno for caca. All right, so that's my Hub Group story. Hopefully I don't ever have to do it again. All right, Hub Group was good. They were good to me. And that's all I got to say about that.